welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Okoy toge. I'm hoping I'm saying that second word right because I don't actually know how to say that word. If I'm saying it wrong, please let me know. If I'm saying it right, please let me know as well. But anyway, so if you guys are wondering what Okoy is basically I almost said fritter. I mean, it kind of is like a fritter, but it's technically more of a savory pancake, a Filipino savory pancake. And this is one of my favorite dishes, and I never really realized how easy it is to make it. I always see it in the stores. I see this in stores and we buy it every so often, and in my head I keep thinking like I can't make this, but it's so easy. You're gonna see in the video how easy it actually is. So before we actually get into the cooking part of this video, I just want to talk about several things. First, as you guys probably already saw in the title, this is going to be a vegetarian okoy, and the reasoning for that was just because I did it's gonna sound really bad, but I just didn't feel like looking for shrimps, and I personally think it tastes fine just the way it is. You can add shrimps to it if you want to add shrimps to it, but when I was cooking this late at night, I didn't have shrimps, so there you go. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I use carrots in this video, and traditionally it's usually sweet potatoes or something else. It's traditionally like you use sweet potatoes or taro root. Carrots just fine as well. I personally think it's fine. This is just my interpretation of it. I can't even speak. This is my interpretation of it, and there's also a lot of different ways for you to actually make this. The final thing I want to talk about before we actually get into cooking, and yes, I'm gonna make this as brief as I can because I've been talking a lot right now. But basically, this final thing I want to talk about is that traditionally this is made with glutinous rice flour. I personally don't have glutinous rice flour in my house. I don't use glutinous rice flour in any of my cooking. And when I was researching this, when I had this original idea, I found that a lot of people actually didn't use, well, at least the recipes that were published online, a lot of them didn't use glutinous rice. They used flour and cornstarch, usually more cornstarch than flour. And so if a bunch of people did that kind of recipe, I thought it would just be fine the way it is. While you guys are watching me cook, and I'm going to show you the instructions how to make this, I am going to have a coffee break. I'm pulling it from this side because I didn't want it's too far. I can't reach. I have short arms and I hurt my arm. Coffee break.
For the vegetable ingredients, you will need some shredded up cabbage as well as some sliced up green onions. If you want to use just regular onion, you can use that as well. And you will need some shredded carrots and the bean sprouts. That's the main thing. You need a lot of bean sprouts. So for the vegetable mixture, what you're going to do is you're going to mix it all up in a bowl. If this bowl that you guys are seeing me mix it up, it's a little too small for all the ingredients I want to mix, and I will end up mixing it in the bigger bowl. But yeah, just mix it all up until every ingredient's well combined. If you're adding shrimps, shelled shrimps, you can add the shelled shrimps at this point, but I'm not adding shelled shrimps, so this is what my vegetable mixture looks like. Once the vegetable mixture is all mixed up, we are going to do the batter. So for the batter, my ratio is 1 part flour to 2 parts cornstarch. So in this video, what I'm doing is I did half a cup of flour to a cup of cornstarch. If you want this to be a little bit more chewier and a little bit more softer, add more cornstarch and less flour, but again, this is the mixture that I found worked well for me. The next ingredient you need for the batter is some annatto powder or Achuete powder. This is going to give it some color and a little bit of flavor. And for that, for my mixture, I added a teaspoon of that. I don't know why that was a little bit hard for me to say, but yeah, I use a teaspoon, and you might not think that's a lot, but this thing is powerful. You will see later on. It makes the color really nice and bright. And then for the next ingredient, you will need some pepper. For the pepper in this mixture, I put half a teaspoon of pepper. You can add more or less if you wish. And then I also added half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I did add a teaspoon of salt. I found it a little bit too salty, so adjust the seasoning as you see fit. And now I'm just mixing all the dry ingredients together to make sure that there are no clumps, and it will make it easier to add the wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, you only need egg and water. For the water, I am adding the same amount that I did with the cornstarch. So for this, I did 1 cup of cornstarch. And then for this mixture, I added 1 egg. Oh, if you're not going to add an egg to this, you can absolutely omit the egg if you're vegan, because this is the only thing that makes this vegetarian. But if you're going to omit the egg, just add a little bit more water to get the consistency. You will see a little later on what kind of consistency we should have with this batter. Yeah, just be careful. Don't add too much water. And yeah, as you guys see, this is the consistency of the batter. It's a little, it's pretty thick. It's still a little loose. Now to the cooking part. What I did off camera was I added a little bit of the vegetable mixture into the batter. I found that this works well for me. When I tested this out, I added all the vegetables and it was just too much for me. If that works out well for you, then that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I found that mixing small mixtures of the vegetable works better for me. So to do this, obviously you guys can see I'm frying it. Unfortunately, if you want to get the texture of the actual okoy, you're going to need to fry it in oil. You can't go about it. I could have actually probably used more oil, but I did add, as I was cooking this, I did add more oil to it. I am just flipping it back and forth. I cut out a lot of the flipping of the pancake back and forth, just because that was just a little too boring for you guys to watch. Essentially what you're going to want is a golden brown color. And I will have a clip of what it should look like. So yeah, it should be golden brown, it should be crispy, and that's how it looks. And once you have all the mixture finished and cooked, everything's done, you're going to make the sauce. So for the sauce, you need is garlic, salt, and pepper. And you don't have to do this part, but I personally mash the garlic a little bit more to the salt and pepper just to get more of the garlic flavor out. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but that's what I did. And then the final ingredient for this is white vinegar. So I'm just adding enough to make enough sauce. And then you can just adjust the seasoning right now if you wish. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Once the sauce is done, all you have to do is you're just gonna eat that. If you're sharing this with people, don't dip it like I did. Don't double dip, but yeah.
Okay, so how easy was that dish? Honestly, my mind is blown on. Like, it's so easy to make. You can make different variations of this. You can put different vegetables if you want. I mean, like, it's so simple. So simple. Oh, before I sign off, I just want to mention that you can also make an alternate sauce if for some reason you can't have vinegar or vinegar reacts weirdly on you. You can make the same sauce, but instead of vinegar, you can use soy sauce. you know, whatever. Just make sure you don't put any salt because soy sauce is already salty. Same procedure, crushed up garlic, vinegar, pepper. That's it. Okay, with that being said, I hope you like this video. If you create this dish, let me know what you think about it. Yeah, if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to, you can hit that bell notification button so you'll know when I post videos. Yep. Okay. Anyway, until next time. Bye, guys.